A movie I can respectfully say will end up on one of my top 10 lists. And yeah, it's going to be the top 10 best if you haven't realized from all the reviews and the fact that I'm not objectively angry at the moment. So, Mission Impossible Fallout is the sixth in a long-running series of Mission Impossible films that have spanned over the last 22 years, with basically the same group of characters throughout, though some people have been added, some people have been killed off. Yeah, take what you can. And this movie is pretty similar. You'll get a lot more out of this if you've actually seen the previous Mission Impossibles, just to get connected with the characters. But if you don't want to be a little lost, I highly recommend watching the last Mission Impossible movie, because this one is basically a direct sequel to it, including a lot of callbacks and even a returning villain. Well, crazy anarchist, but villain, you can call him that. So, this has been getting pretty high praises across the board, and for good reason. The acting is solid as always, the stunts are pretty nice, and it's actually shot fairly well. There's a bit jump cutty a little bit in the actual chase scenes. They don't really do a long running shot for that, but they more than make up for that when they actually do the more personal chase scenes, the ones on your feet, or even the helicopter scenes, which, yeah, to some degree are a bit CGI and green screen, but you can pass it off. There's only like one or two moments I've legitimately just went, oh, come on, guys, I've seen you do better with that green screen, but for what it was really enjoyable. There is a bit of shenanigans being played with the last, I'm gonna say, 15 minutes in the heaviest quotation marks I can of the movie, because yeah, look, people get on Dragon Ball Z's case for 5 minutes. Yeah, sure, 5 minutes, wink wink. This one, yeah, though it's trying to be realistic, it kind of has that time scale. It's 15 minutes, but as much time as the heroes actually need. There's still some good moments throughout it, though. Each character actually does serve a purpose, and things are revealed, stuff's shifted around. There's really only one big thing I kind of have with this, and it's that you're introduced to a couple of people throughout this entire, event. In fact, there's a predominant person that you meet in the, I would say, mid-first act, beginning of the second. She's, pretty important by the sounds of it, and it seems like they're building her up for something, and it seems like there's, going to be a big confrontation. She's going to be a big part in the end. Yeah, nah, she kind of disappears after the main villain from the previous one gets reintroduced, and it carries on. Now, some could say that's a negative in the sense that we have to split our time between two major antagonists. I say, normally I would agree with that, but in this case it actually serves better, because the primary first antagonist is trying to get the second one released, and is basically serving the wishes and the outcome. It's kind of like in a monster movie where, yeah, you got the crazed mad scientist that creates the monster, but it's really the monster that we should fear, and they actually do a good job addressing that in this. And yeah, for what it is, it's enjoyable. The villain has a couple of good one-liners, constantly messing with Tom Cruise's character Ethan. I want to say Bentley, because this reminds me of the Sly Cooper games. Benji. Benji has a long-running history with this guy, because in the last movie he stuck a freaking explosive vest to him. You kind of don't forgive the guy who does that, no matter what happens. Beat me up, fine, but you were going to make me explode. There was going to be nothing left of me, so I'm kind of a bit not on your side. But, he has his moments here and there, and actually a lot more in this than I would say in the previous Mission Impossibles. Lawrence, the muscle, as it would be, the big black guy, lovable heart, kind of takes a bit more of a backseat here than previous, but his designated description is guy in van, or extra, secondary firepower if you need it. He's never really been that big of a forefront runner since, I would say, the third movie, so, it's a little sad to see him sit in the back, but he has his moments. And the new people they bring on serve a good role. Except they bring in Amanda Waller from DC for some reason. Seriously, this head of the CIA looks exactly like her, and acts exactly like her, so I'm half tempted to say, Ethan, I have a mission for you. You must stop the Suicide Squad. But yeah, there's really not much I can complain about this. This is an enjoyable film from start to finish. You will feel a bit tired at the end, though, just because it's kind of like on a massive adrenaline high. Like, imagine, if you will, you got a crazy, over-the-top, zany roller coaster that goes on for about 7 minutes. You would feel it for the first 4 and it would seem great, but after a while you would kind of want it to stop just so you can catch your breath and breathe. And the movie does have moments where you can breathe, it's just mostly used for character development and exposition dump, kind of like you would need, but it doesn't really give you that much because there's always that sense of tension, the sense of dread, which they actually keep predominant throughout this movie. And yeah, the one-liners and stuff can be a bit cheesy. Yeah, there's a bit of wink and nods to some things throughout, but it's actually enjoyable. Highly recommend this, guys, as warranted by my short time here. I can't praise this thing enough without going into spoilers, and I won't. It's a blast from start to finish. Hopefully they make another one. If not, just you can let it end. I don't think they will, though. This has been making too much money, and there will probably be another one. But if you're a fan of the previous Mission Impossibles, go ahead. You'll enjoy it. If you haven't seen one up to date, I highly recommend watching the one right before this, so you can at least get an idea of the characters and everything that leads up into this one. But if you walk in cold, you'll enjoy it. I know a guy who walked in cold, never seen a single Mission Impossible, and he enjoyed it, so good for him, and hopefully good for you guys as well. So, there's a lot coming out next week, though, guys. I don't know which ones I'm going to see. I mean, it's either Winnie the Pooh, the new Mila Kunis movie, The Spy Who Dumped Me, Darkest Minds, which looks like the next attempt of a YA film I've ever seen. That doesn't look good at all. It's like bad YA meets the Wrinkle in Time movie meets the X-Men, because that works. And then there's also Denise DeSalles' movie, Death of a Nation, where the man in question is going to try to compare the current President Donald Trump to Abraham Lincoln. Regardless of if you like or dislike the guy, that is a massive stretch and possibly not the best thing to do. So, I'll try to see which ones I'm able to. I can't make any promises. But if you have a specific one you would like me to review, comment below and might stir my vote one way or the other. Anyway, guys, as always, I'm Kevin Riley signing off, and I'll see you all next time. Later.